Close your eyes and imagine this. You step into a bustling cafe, the hum of conversation and clinking cups filling the air. As you move through the crowd, something shifts. Eyes lift, smiles flicker, and a quiet wave of curiosity follows you. It's not because you're loud or flashy. It's your presence, a calm, grounded energy that speaks before you do. People lean in, drawn to you like stars to a night sky, not because you demand attention, but because you embody a strength so deep it's magnetic. Now picture carrying this power everywhere: work, home, even a tense family dinner, knowing you're respected, valued, and unforgettable not for what you say, but for who you are. This isn't a pipe dream. It's the promise of Stoicism, a 2,000-year-old philosophy that's guided emperors like Marcus Aurelius, sages like Seneca, and countless others through life's storms. In our world of fleeting likes, endless noise, and shallow connections, Stoicism offers a timeless blueprint to build a presence that commands respect and a self-worth that no one can shake. Today I'm inviting you on a life-changing journey through 10 Stoic secrets, practical, time-tested tools to transform how others see you and, more crucially, how you see yourself. These aren't manipulative tricks or superficial hacks. They're principles to forge an inner strength that shines outward, drawing people to you like a lighthouse in a fog. So, grab a notebook, settle into a quiet space, and let's embark on this adventure together. By the end, you'll have a roadmap to live with purpose, radiate authenticity, and become someone others naturally admire, not for what you do, but for the unshakable soul you've become. Put yourself first, the bedrock of respect. Picture a frantic morning. You're racing out the door, stomach growling because you skipped breakfast, mind tangled from a sleepless night. You snap at a coworker, fumble a meeting, and feel invisible as people brush past your stress. Now rewind. Imagine waking early, savoring a warm cup of tea, stretching your body, and setting a calm intention for the day. You walk into that same meeting, your energy steady, your smile genuine. Heads turn, voices soften, and people listen when you speak. Why? Because you've shown the world how to value you by valuing yourself first. Stoicism's first secret is the cornerstone of presence: self-care. Marcus Aurelius, who juggled an empire while wrestling his own doubts, wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it. If you neglect your body, mind, or spirit, you broadcast a subtle message: I'm not worth caring for. Others pick up on it, mirroring your disregard. But when you prioritize yourself, you radiate a confidence that's raw, real, and impossible to ignore. Self-care isn't vanity or selfishness. It's the soil from which respect grows. This starts with awareness. Physically treat your body like a trusted ally. Rest well, move daily, eat foods that fuel you, not to chase a magazine cover but to feel alive. I learned this during a burnout phase, surviving on energy drinks and 3 hours of sleep. My work suffered, my temper flared, and colleagues distanced themselves. A Stoic friend suggested a reset. Treat my body like a temple. I committed to walking 20 minutes daily, eating 1 vegetable-heavy meal, and aiming for 7 hours of sleep. Within a month, my focus sharpened, my patience grew, and a client said, "You've got this glow. What's your secret?" It wasn't a glow. It was presence, born from care. Mentally, nourish your mind with ideas that challenge and expand you. Read Stoic texts, explore poetry, or dive into a biography that sparks your curiosity. I keep a wisdom journal, jotting down 1 quote daily. Lately, Seneca's, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Even 10 minutes of reflection can untangle chaotic thoughts, making you a beacon of clarity. Spiritually, find what fills your soul: meditation, prayer, a walk under the stars. I once spent a weekend hiking alone, no phone, just the rustle of leaves in my breath. I returned grounded, and friends noticed, "You seem so centered." Historically, Stoics like Epictetus, a former slave, embodied this. Despite his hardships, he prioritized his inner life, cultivating a mind so resilient it inspired generations. His secret? He cared for his soul as fiercely as any physical need, knowing it shaped his presence. Try this. For 2 weeks, commit to one daily act of self-care. Sleep 30 minutes earlier, take a mindful walk, read a Stoic passage. Journal how it shifts your energy and how others respond. Another exercise: create a self-care checklist with 3 categories: physical, mental, spiritual, and check one item daily. When I started this, a coworker said, "You're so steady now." That's the power of honoring yourself. It's not just for you. It's a gift to everyone you meet. Be a haven of calm. Master the art of composure. Imagine a high-stakes meeting, the room crackling with tension. Voices rise, accusations fly, and stress hangs like smoke. Then you walk in, your breath even, your gaze steady. You listen, nod, and speak only when the moment demands it, your words clear and kind. The chaos softens, the room exhales, and people turn to you not because you're loud, but because your calm is contagious. That's Stoicism's second secret. Composure is a superpower. Seneca, who thrived in Rome's treacherous courts, wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." In our reactive world, where tempers flare over tweets and traffic, calmness is rare and riveting. When you stay steady under pressure, you become a lighthouse, guiding others through the storm. I saw this with a colleague, Maya, during a client crisis. Everyone was panicking, but Maya sat quietly, her face serene. When she spoke, her voice was firm yet warm, and the client calmed, signing the deal. Later, I asked her secret. She smiled. "I breathe, I pause, I choose." Building composure starts with your body. When anger sparks, say a rude email or a snarky comment, pause for 10 seconds. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. This rewires your nervous system, keeping you anchored. I practiced this during a heated family dinner. My uncle's jab about my career stung, but I breathed, counted to 10, and said, "I hear you. Let's talk later." The argument fizzled, and we reconciled calmly. That pause was my shield. Mindfulness deepens this. Spend 5 minutes daily, focusing on your breath or a simple object like a candle's flame. When emotions surge, you'll instinctively pause, not react. I also use a Stoic visualization. Picture yourself as a mountain, unmoved by life's winds. During a recent work critique, I imagined this, stayed calm, and responded thoughtfully. The critic later said, "I admire how you handle feedback." Composure isn't just control, it's charisma. Historically, Marcus Aurelius exemplified this. Amid wars and betrayals, he journaled nightly, grounding himself in reason. His calm inspired his troops, who followed him not out of fear, but awe. You can channel this too. Try this. For 1 week, pause before responding to any irritation. Count to 15, breathe, and ask, "Is this worth my peace?" Journal the outcomes. Did your calm shift the dynamic? Another exercise. Practice a composure ritual daily. 5 minutes of deep breathing, or a Stoic mantra like, "I am steady, no matter the storm." When I did this, a friend said, "You're like a rock." That's the magic of calm. It doesn't just save you, it uplifts everyone. Treat time like gold. Guard your most precious asset. Time is your life's currency, and how you spend it shapes how others value you. Picture two friends. One's always late, overcommitted, saying yes to every invite. Their presence feels chaotic and people stop counting on them. Now imagine someone deliberate, punctual, selective, saying no with grace. Their time is sacred, and others treat it that way, hanging on their words because they know they're rare. That's Stoicism's third secret. Revere your time. Seneca, who mourned wasted hours, wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." When you guard your time, you declare, "My life matters." I learned this during a frenetic work phase, drowning in meetings and favors. I was exhausted, my impact diluted. A Stoic exercise, listing priorities, changed everything. I identified my core values: health, family, key projects, and cut distractions. I said no to low-value tasks, and my focus soared. Colleagues noticed, saying, "When you're here, you're present." I saw this in a mentor, Dr. Khan, who never rushed. He arrived early, declined non-essential invites, and focused fully on what mattered. His scarcity made him magnetic. Students begged for his time. I adopted his habit. I arrived 5 minutes early to every commitment, a small act that screams reliability. A client recently said, "You're always so dependable." That's time well guarded. Try this. For 2 weeks, track your hours in a journal. Highlight what aligns with your values, cut what doesn't. Practice saying no kindly. "I'd love to, but my schedule's full." Notice how others respect your boundaries. Another exercise. Set one sacred hour daily for something meaningful. Reading, exercise, reflection. Protect it fiercely. When I started this, a friend said, "You seem so intentional." Time isn't just minutes, it's your legacy, and guarding it builds your power. 4. Listen like a master. Here to build. Trust in our distracted world. True listening is a rare art and a magnetic force. Imagine a colleague sharing a tough story, their voice wavering. You silence your phone, meet their eyes, and stay quiet. Not to fix, but to understand. They exhale, feeling seen, and say, "You really get me." That moment forges a bond deeper than any speech. Stoicism's fourth secret is active listening. Here to connect, not to impress. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening is generosity, humility, strength. It creates safety, and safety breeds trust. I saw this at a volunteer event. A shy teen shared her fears, and I listened fully. No interruptions, just presence. Later, she found me saying, "You made me feel important." That's listening's alchemy. I learned this the hard way. I used to listen while planning my reply, missing half the story. A Stoic shift, focusing solely on the speaker, changed that. During a friend's rant, I stayed silent, nodding, reflecting. "It sounds like you're overwhelmed." She teared up, saying, "Exactly." Our friendship deepened, all because I heard her. Historically, Seneca practiced this, listening, to allies and enemies alike, to understand, not outwit. His empathy made him a trusted advisor. even in Rome's chaos. You can do the same. Practice this. For 1 week, give 100% attention in every conversation. Silence devices, maintain eye contact, pause before responding, reflect what you hear. It sounds like X. Journal how it shifts your connections. Another exercise. Aim to listen twice as long as you speak for 1 day. Ask one thoughtful question per talk, like, "What did that mean to you?" When I did this, a coworker said, "You're so easy to talk to." Listening isn't passive, it's a bridge to value. Never stop growing. Be a student of life. Growth is a flame that draws others near. Picture someone who's always evolving, not to boast, but to become better than yesterday. They read, reflect, embrace mistakes, not to outshine others, but to honor their potential. Stoicism's fifth secret is lifelong learning. Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." A curious mind is a trusted mind, radiating humility and depth. I met a retiree, Clara, who lived this at 75. She studied Stoicism, learned guitar, and journaled daily, admitting what she didn't know. Her growth made her a magnet. Younger friends sought her wisdom. I adopted her habit. I read one Stoic page daily, reflect on a recent error, and seek feedback. After a failed pitch, I asked a colleague for tips. Her advice sharpened my skills, and she respected my openness, saying, "You're always improving." Historically, Epictetus embodied this. Born a slave, he studied philosophy relentlessly, becoming a teacher whose ideas still inspire. His hunger for truth made him unforgettable. Try this. For 1 month, learn something daily. A Stoic quote, a new skill, a life lesson. Journal your insights. Share one humbly with a friend. I learned X, and it changed my perspective. Notice how they engage. Another exercise. When you're wrong, say, "I hadn't thought of it that way. Thanks." I did this in a debate, and the other person said, "I respect that." Growth isn't ego, it's truth, and truth commands respect. Live unapologetically. You. Authenticity is power. In a world of curated feeds and polished facades, authenticity is a rare jewel. Imagine someone who speaks from the soul. No pretense. No polish. They say, "This is me, scars and all." And their honesty cuts through the clutter. Stoicism's sixth secret is radical authenticity. Epictetus said, "If you want to be a writer, write. If you want respect, be real. No masks, just you." I knew a teacher, Sam, who never faked it. He'd admit doubts, share struggles, and stand by his values even when unpopular. His rawness made him a mentor. Students trusted him because he was himself. I tried this after years of people-pleasing. I started sharing my true thoughts on work, dreams, fears. A friend said, "You're so genuine. It's rare." Authenticity isn't loud. It's lasting. Historically, Marcus Aurelius lived this, journaling his flaws nightly to stay true to his values. His honesty made him a leader, not a tyrant. You can channel this too. Practice this. For 2 weeks, speak honestly in small ways. Say what you mean. Own your mistakes. Journal how it feels. Another exercise. Align one daily action with your core values, like choosing integrity over popularity. When I stopped chasing cool and lived my truth, my presence deepened. Authenticity isn't performance. It's Power 7. Hold a spark of mystery. Restraint is captivating. In an era of oversharing, restraint is mesmerizing. Picture someone who's warm yet reserved. Not secretive, but selective. They share enough to connect, but hold back enough to intrigue. Stoicism's seventh secret is maintaining mystery. It's not about deception. It's about nurturing a inner life that doesn't crave validation. I noticed this with a professor, Dr. Lin, who shared stories but rarely his plans or struggles. His reserve made his words weightier. Students hung on every syllable, craving more. I adopted this, limiting social media events and keeping goals private. A colleague said, "You're intriguing. You don't spill everything." That depth drew respect. Historically, Seneca practiced this, revealing only what served his purpose, making his counsel invaluable. His restraint amplified his influence. Try this. For 1 week, share 30% less about your plans or emotions. Focus on listening or asking questions. Journal how it shifts others' curiosity. Another exercise. When tempted to overshare, ask, "Does this need to be said now?" I've paused before venting, and friends said, "You always leave me wanting more." Mystery isn't hiding, it's hinting at a soul worth discovering. Embrace silence. Discretion builds trust. Not every thought deserves a stage. Stoicism's eighth secret is discretion, knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. Imagine someone who shuns gossip, avoids interruptions, and keeps frustrations private. They're a vault, safe and steady, and others trust them instinctively. Seneca wrote, "The wise man lacks nothing but needs much." Silence is often your strongest strategy. I saw this with a manager, Elena, who never spread rumors or vented. When she spoke, people listened, knowing her words were chosen. I practiced this at a gossip-heavy dinner, staying quiet instead of joining in. Later, a friend confided in me saying, "You're a safe space." Discretion forged that trust. Historically, Epictetus exemplified this, speaking only what uplifted even under oppression. His restraint made his teachings profound. Practice this. For 2 weeks before speaking, ask, "Is this necessary? Kind? True?" Cut gossip and complaints by half. Journal the impact. Another exercise. When emotions surge, write them down instead of sharing. I've filled journals this way, saving relationships and respect. Discretion isn't restraint, it's strength, and strength earns admiration. 9. Receive with grace. Vulnerability deepens bonds. We often think value comes from giving, help, time, love. But Stoicism's ninth secret is receiving. Accepting compliments, support, or feedback with grace shows humility, not weakness. It builds intimacy and shows others they're worthy too. Marcus Aurelius said, "We are born for cooperation." Receiving honors that bond. I struggled with this, brushing off praise with, "It's nothing," or hiding struggles. A Stoic shift changed me. I started saying thank you to compliments and asking for help. When I thanked a friend for a kind word, she smiled, saying, "I'm glad you heard me." Receiving deepened our connection. I saw this with a coworker, Tom, who accepted feedback openly. After a tough review, he said, "Thanks for the insight. I'll work on it." His humility earned respect, and our team grew closer. Historically, Seneca practiced this, welcoming critiques to refine his ideas, making him a trusted voice. Try this. For 2 weeks, accept every compliment with, "Thank you." Ask for one small favor, a tip, a hand, and notice the bond. Journal how receiving feels. Another exercise. When offered help, think, "This is their gift." I accepted a friend's cooking lesson, and our friendship bloomed. Receiving isn't neediness, it's connection, and it draws others near. 2. Rise stronger. Resilience is your legacy. Life will test you, guaranteed. But Stoicism's 10th secret is resilience. Meeting pain with courage, falling with grace, rising with hope. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your response to hardship shapes your presence, turning you into someone others trust and admire. I faced this during a career rejection, a dream job I didn't get. I was gutted, tempted to give up. Stoicism urged a reframe. This is my teacher. I sought feedback, took courses, and tried again, landing a better role. Colleagues said, "You're unstoppable." Resilience wasn't just recovery, it was radiance. A friend, Aisha, lived this after a health scare. Instead of despair, she chose growth, therapy, yoga, honest talks. Her strength inspired others. Friends called her a warrior. Historically, Epictetus, enslaved yet unbowed, turned suffering into wisdom, his resilience echoing through centuries. Try this. For 1 month, view every challenge as a lesson. Journal what it teaches: patience, courage, humility. Another exercise. When knocked down, ask, "What's one step I can take now?" After my rejection, I read one Stoic page daily, rebuilding my confidence. Resilience isn't pretending, it's persisting, and it makes you a beacon. Your journey to unforgettable presence. Here we stand, at the journey's end. But it's just the dawn. You hold 10 Stoic secrets to transform your presence. Self-care, composure, time, listening, growth, authenticity, mystery, discretion, receiving, resilience. These aren't tools to chase applause. They're ways to embody a strength that draws it naturally. You don't need to beg for respect or perform for love. When you live these principles, people gravitate to you, not for what you give, but for the soul you've become. Let me share a story. 2 years ago, I felt unseen, bending over backward to please others. Stoicism changed that. I started small, prioritizing rest, pausing before reacting, listening deeply. One day, a stranger at a party said, "You've got this quiet strength." It's powerful. That was my proof. Presence speaks louder than words. Now it's your turn. Reflect. Which secret hits home? How will you start today? Maybe you'll guard an hour, hear a friend fully, or embrace a setback. Each step builds your legacy. Try this challenge. Pick one secret and live it for 30 days. Journal your progress, share it with a friend, and watch your presence grow. If this journey ignited you, share it with someone, a coworker, a loved one who needs this light. Spread this wisdom one steady heart at a time. Join our community at the Daily Stoic Life. Subscribe for more tools to live stronger, wiser, truer. Thank you for walking this path with me. You're not just learning Stoicism, you're becoming someone unforgettable. Here's to a life of calm, courage, and magnetic presence. I'll see you in the next adventure.